Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I don't know, we're having a little bit of something going on with the audio here. Thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. And well, you'd think after we were going to talk about the 379th episode tonight, you'd think the audio would be cooperating a little better, but let's see how that works. Thank you so very much, however we're doing it. You know, sometimes it's like you just feel like opening up a window and screaming out it. But in any event, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us, as I say, for what is now the 300th, now that we've worked this out, the 379th episode of the #1 rated show here on All Natural Being. Here on All Natural Being. Here on IPMNation.com, of course, I'm talking about All Natural Being, where you are right now hearing, even though the audio is a bit suspect, you're hearing the gong heard round the world broadcast as it happens. Thanks to our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast, right here on aforementioned IPMNation.com, and now multicast live on Facebook over on allnaturalbeing.com and on our Brian Brawdy app as well. First started out with the Android. Now we're working out the kinks for the Apple, so thank you for that. But however you come to hang with us, we're always pumped to have you live from the Transitional Radio Uplink here in Columbus, Ohio. And I should mention that as of December 1st, Columbus has risen to #2 in terms of overall listeners and viewers here on IPMNation.com. Way to go, Columbus. Thank you very much. And as always, we rebroadcast our little get-together here on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, you know, all the usual suspects. The jury is still out on Twitter. I don't know. What do you guys think? And girls think? What do you people think? What do you folks think? I'm just not a fan of Twitter anymore. Greetings wherever you are here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life itself. Here is your shot at running the table, at leveling out where you see fit, right? You don't need anyone's permission. Here's your chance to be mouthwatering to yourself once again. And it's in your blood. You and I just have to work, have to be reminded from time to time as to what it is our mind is trying to keep from us. That's why we're here to be your amnesia buster, your friendly blue force, if you will. Left of bang, as I like to think about it. Always putting your heart's highest priority top of the list. Reinstalling and reinstating the true wit and wisdom, the true wallop of your inner whisper. Rebooting your robust, finding your ferocious, commencing your counterpunch. All in time to out-brutal the brutal that can be, maybe it isn't for you, sometimes for the rest of us it is, the cut and shuffle that fate deals us on a daily basis, and to once and for all bring your own bold, that's right, BYOB. But before we hit this evening, hello to my friends and family here in the United States. Thank you for those of us joining, joining just from the post a little while ago over my friend's page. Also, Canada, Mexico, the UK, my good friends in Ecuador, China, the Philippines, Brazil, Germany, Italy, India, Austria, France, Nigeria, Turkey, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Belgium, Sweden, Israel, South Africa, Egypt, Puerto Rico, Kenya, the Netherlands, Iran, Colombia, Greece, Ireland, Argentina, Peru, Austria, Poland. To those joining us from all over the globe, it really is great to have you with us. And I truly am fired up to be driving your bandwagon, to being your vaccine against the vapid of the everyday, to be your virtual hitchhiker, especially if you're on your go. And as I say all the time, you know what I love about riding a shotgun if you're out and about? You get the opportunity of hanging with you. So what are we waiting for? As I ask every evening when we get a chance to spend some time together, here's our opportunity to mortal up. It's time to like the way you think. Screw that. It's time to love the way you think. It's time to be your all-natural being. So what do you say? Let's go kick in some doors. And I wanted to start, just in case before we get over in the thread tonight, we got a lot to talk about, a lot of different things going on. I had made mention over on Facebook, we're going to be talking about, the 14th and why that's a big deal. And I said earlier that I wanted to, we all talk about New Year's resolutions and what we're going to do on New Year's so that the next year will start off just right. Well, I have an opportunity coming up late in the night on the 14th, early in the morning of the 15th, after I get out of my fourth brain surgery. I have the opportunity to really restart. I mean, it's like a New Year's Eve on steroids, right? It's like the New Year's Eve bar none, where I have an opportunity to really jumpstart something new and different. And I'm going to share with you tonight what my decision has been, what that new and different is going to be. And there's only a few people that know about what we're going to talk about tonight, but I wanted to make mention of the fact that we'll be doing that before we open the phone and take calls. I'll also hop over to the thread, and while I'm doing that, if someone can help me with this. This morning I'm out and about, running around. I'm just doing some things around town, and whatever time it was that I left. All right, and let's say it was 9 o'clock. I don't know if that's it, but let's just say it was 9 o'clock. So I get there, and I noticed that gas is like $1.80. I'm going to say $1.84. Right? This was sometime early in the morning. It's $1.84. And then I go on out and about. I run around. I'm doing my errands and everything else. And it can't be 2 hours later. The cost of gasoline has jumped 45 cents. So I'm thinking to myself, well, there must have been like super tanker boats. I don't even know what they're called. Super tankers, tanker barges or boats or whatever. And there must have been like 4 or 5 of them that collided together. And right, there had to be some major oil catastrophe, some shipping line interruption. So, then I go, it's a good thing I have satellite radio. So I better pick my poison, CNN or MSNBC, Fox, whatever it's going to be, local news. I got to know what's going on, right? I want my fingers on the pulse. What's the major, maybe Martians have landed, right? Maybe they're taking over the streets of LA. There's got to be some big reason for gas to jump 45 cents in 2 hours. 45 cents, 2 hours. Got to be major, catastrophic. Maybe a volcano. So imagine my surprise when I go through, I scan all the way through, come back, hit the computer, check Drudge Report. There's nothing. No tankers colliding. No nothing. No major news. And then I thought, how can you raise the price of gas 45 cents in 2 hours without any kind of nothing? Yesterday, there was a glut of oil. They couldn't give it away. $1 a barrel was going for like the same thing as like some, like a fine olive oil, which would be great if the Olive Tap was a client, because I could go, and this is a perfect commercial for the Olive Tap. It's a robust blend, 100% Evo, whatever that means. But no, right? So the cost of oil is like nothing a barrel. And then all of a sudden, up 45 cents. So if anyone knows the meaning behind that, audio is fine. It's video. Well, the video, what are you going to do? Good thing this is a radio show. Video is just a bonus. All right, let me say hello to everyone this evening. Henry, good evening. Kathy, big announcement tonight. Yes, thank you very much. Wayne, thank you as always. Yes, I know you're watching. Paul, thank you so very much. We hope you are well as well. Jason, thank you for joining us. I'm very excited. Jason from Nightlock is going to be on with us next Tuesday night. We're going to get into all kinds of cool stuff, but just, being able to fall asleep at night and knowing that no one's going to force your front door. No one's going to force your garage door, your back door. I'm very, very fired up. And even for someone with the technical acumen to install things, right? Like I go to Home Depot and I'm like a little kid at Disney World. I can't figure out how any of the stuff works, right? I've got the screwdrivers down. I know the difference between Phillips and a regular head, and that's about it. But I was very excited to start installing some of these things today from Nightlock, so I'm thrilled. So equally thrilled to have Jason on the show next Tuesday evening. So mark your calendar. We'll be and only 2 days left after that, because we'll do this next week. We'll do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with Jason, Wednesday, of course, with our good friend Lee for Lee Words Wednesdays. And whenever I talk to Lee, I always call it Theraply. Right, Theraply. So he'll be on with us tomorrow night, and he'll be on with us next Wednesday. Next Thursday will be the last show, and then I go under the Dremel tool. So a little bit of scheduling there. Paul, thank you again for joining us. Jenny, thank you so very much. Joseph, greetings and salutations to you as well. Thank you so very much for joining us. Russia and Saudi plan to cut supply. That must be it, right? Because I couldn't figure it out. Joseph, how could yesterday we have a glut of oil? Like there's just oil in the streets. You want some? Here. Just, here's a shovel. You could just shovel some free oil right up, right? Put it in, make gasoline, whatever. And then today, in the 2 hours that I'm out, it jumps 45 cents. Yeah, we're all being played, but that'll be that'll be for a different show. Jason, you're more than welcome. Thank you so very much for coming in and kicking it around next Tuesday. All right, so here's the big announcement. As you know, I'm getting ready. On the 14th, I'll go in for my, what I hope is my final brain surgery, to finally punt the shunt, as my good friend Sue calls it, to get rid of the thing that has truly been, I talk about fate is your nemesis. This thing has truly been my nemesis for the last couple of years, vacuuming spinal fluid out of me like it's going out of style, and just all the different things that fell apart because of that. So I'll start my apology tour for what a dork I've been for the last 2 years, because I'm running like 7 quarts low, but that'll be next week after I get out of it. But what I've decided is that, I made this joke long ago that I have a face, for radio, right? I mean, you come in, you got cancer scars, you got a hair lip you've been running around with all your life. Now you got all these scars up here and scars in the back. Looks like my brother John said, you should just get a horseshoe or maybe a tattoo that says perforate here. He thought that would be a funny joke. So, I said, hey, I have a face for radio. Well, I have to tell you, in 300 and some odd episodes now, good evening, Lee. Thank you very much. Chris, nice to see you. Donald, nice to see you as well. Thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. Canada's oil-producing province, Alberta, has announced an 8.7% reduction in oil production. Well, let's just reach out and thank the good folks in Alberta. What do you say? Finally caught back up with you, Lee. Nice to see you. Thank you. And I was just talking about my Theraply, right? So if I get something, I go, I want to talk about this Theraply. Thursday night, I think we're going to be doing our first run over on Transitional Radio, or here on Transitional Radio, Copy That Speaks, where Lee and I get together. More Lee than me. I'm just working the board, but and then we'll take a call, and then we put Lee under like a stopwatch, and in 30 minutes he comes up with a tagline, or we banter back some what are they called, Lee? Not thesis statements, whatever they call it, provocative sales lines, or there's a term for them. Lee knows it, of course I don't. But we'll be doing that starting Thursday nights. It'll be 9 o'clock this week, called Copy That Speaks, and I'm very fired up about that. Let me say hello to Karen. Thank you for joining us. John, thank you for joining us as well. And Joseph, you're right. The shunt exorcism, I cannot wait. I have dreams like the movie with Sigourney Weaver from Alien, when that thing, the first time the alien comes alive and it comes up out of that person's chest. Right? Oh, I have dreams like that all the time. It's like that shunt is finally coming out of me. But in any event, here's what I've decided. I really am digging this internet radio. I'm absolutely honored to have been given the opportunity by Guinness to go after the world's record for the longest call-in radio talk show. As you know, we're calling it 81 to Win, coming up February, just a few months down the road. And it really is an honor. So what I've decided is I'm going to go through. We're going to keep business as usual here until the 14th. Then, I'll take the 14th off. I'll take the 15th off. I think that's Friday, that's Saturday. So Sunday is the 16th when I normally be back on. I hope to be back on again. Maybe a little bit of an abbreviated show. If Sue says, maybe go 15, 20 minutes. We'll see, right? But what we're going to do after that is I'm going to put my full-time effort. I'm saying goodbye to my clients. I've already started making calls to let those clients know. And what I'll be doing, there's a handful of people that know this already, but what I'll be doing is the full-time production of All Natural Being. And I want to thank most certainly Henry, Noel, who will be with us here in a little bit, but most certainly at the bottom of the hour for Thinking Re-envisioned. I need to thank Matt and Jenny at IPMNation.com, Wayne, for absolutely certain, Wayne Noel at Transitional Radio, for everything they do to keep me up and going and the like. But after I recover from this, and I will recover, right? I'm not going to let this chop block me. I will be back from this. And after I do, I'm going to put my full-time efforts into the show. And what will probably happen is I ramp back up and I start to get a little, I start to get my sea legs, if it will, in case David Ray Bowman is listening. Lee, yeah, kids, it's getting real down in here. Yes, in fact, it will. Henry, thank you. Marie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What we're going to be doing is we'll probably go to a 2, and then we'll build into it, but a 2 or a 3-hour show that's dependent on the things that we want to talk about in this particular moment and all of time. Of course, it'll always be the all natural being kind of thing, but we're going to talk about what it takes, what it really takes in this day and age, in this climate, to be able to put your heart's highest priority top of your list. Alice, thank you for joining us. Jenny, thank you so very much. I super appreciate it. And again, thank you for everything you've done. But I'm going to turn this radio thing into a full-time gig as soon as, there's like some carpet staples and there's some other things they have to do. But as soon as all that gets yanked out of me, I'm going to come back and be doing this as a full-time gig. We've talked about a couple different ways. We may look at Patreon, however it's pronounced, but we may look at doing a show that's public and then a show that's for people that want to be more involved in the development of the show and this and that. So as we build in, that is going to be great. Henry, thank you so very much. Watch your sea legs, mutant. I know, right? I'm a mutant in more ways than I'm going to miss being a cyborg, though, I have to tell you. So maybe I'll ask, look, can you keep just like an inch of the hose in me so I can still claim to being a cyborg? Kelly, thank you for joining us. And I have to say, Kelly, you are absolutely instrumental, you and the rest of the good folks here in Columbus. In case you missed it, Columbus is now number 2 in terms of the cities for listeners and viewers on IPMNation.com. And I think that's because of the good folks that have been hanging out and helping me with All Natural Being. So thank you for that. And Joseph, it's funny, honest to goodness, brother, you're not going to believe this. And you know what, Wayne? I'm not even going to say it because Joseph won't believe me if I comment on it now. But if you just see Joseph's thing, a 3-hour cruise, Wayne, I'll have you jump in the thread and tell Joseph exactly what we were talking about in terms of how that commercial might work. Paul, thank you so very much for joining us. Nice to see you as well. So once we get out of the surgery, once we start to battle back, it might be ramping up a little slowly. We'll see. As I mentioned, I think last evening, we're bringing on a personal trainer who's already kind of smacked me around and go, yeah, that 21-day water fast, that's not going to work. So, we're flexible, we're malleable, we're going to adapt to whatever the terrain is. But I'm going to turn All Natural Being into the full-time gig. Let's just not call it the private show. Wayne says he already has the soundbite. Wayne, you should tell Joe exactly what you're thinking. So that's what we're going to do. That's the big news, because I really have enjoyed this. And I realized that through the times of missing it, it's truly an honor to have been number 1 here all this time at All Natural Being. But I really need to be able to up the ante and to bring more. So we're going to learn to increase the production value. The audio guys are in. We're going to learn a good bit more. And there's a heck of a learning curve for me, but I'm going to throw all into it, right? It's like a bucket list of one thing. And if you think about it, New Year's, everyone has a resolution. Oh, this year I'm going to do this. Well, I'm basically being given my old plumbing system back, I'm having the shunt pulled out of me, and I have an opportunity now, once I recover from this, to go, yes, as Kathy says, and no worms. Oh, no worms. Candace, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're with you, Brian. Henry, as you have been from day one, thank you, brother, very much. And please tell Rita I said thank you as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this thing cut out. We're going to get it, as Joe said, the exorcism of the shunt. And then we're going to come back and we're going to turn All Natural Being into something I hope. Maybe it'll be drive time. Maybe we'll go back to mornings. Henry, you should know that I had mentioned it earlier in case you were just joining us, but Lee and doing Copy It Speaks will be on Transitional Radio Thursday night, 9 o'clock, right after your show. Will be popping up and Copy That Speaks. So that's another show that's coming to Transitional Radio. And Henry, I wanted to make sure that you know that. Lee says, I'm not giving up on this now on Patreon. Brian's private show, Hot Lewd Nerds. I like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I can cover the lewd, I can cover the nerds. I just don't know how hot I can actually make it, but I think that's what we're going to do. Brother Wallman, thank you for joining us. And of course, I have to say, if you're still here with us, David Ray Bowman, I'll be relying on your expertise, as I will Matt Connerton, if Matt is still here, as to you guys are professional radio guys. Oh, I'm a guy that basically most days to get a signal up, if it weren't for Wayne, I'd have an antenna. I'd have a clothes hanger that I'd be holding up in the air trying to get a signal out. So I'm going to bring a lot of pre-production effort. I'm going to bring a lot of different things to it. And I hope to make it a show, whether it's morning drive time, evening drive time. Maybe I'll do a midnight to 3 eventually. Who knows what it's going to be. But I want it to be something that everyone in the thread can be excited about, can be proud of, and can, kind of look at me as a crash test dummy. Cue all the likes for people saying, oh, yeah, we got the dummy. But you know what I mean? What is it that you've wanted to do in life? If you were given a second shot, you don't have to go and put yourself in for brain surgery. If you were given a second shot, what would you do? How do you know that today is the day that you go, that's it. I'm burning the bridges. I'm going to do what I have to make sure I put my heart's highest priority top of my list. I mean, that's something we can all do. So that's the challenge I think I would put forth to other people out there listening. We're going to go through the rest of this week, lead up until the 14th. But when I come back, we're going to do everything I can to be back in a big way. Brother Wallman alludes, those were the days. He says he thinks. I know, I'm the one with amnesia. I'm right with you. And that's interesting. Now that you bring that up, Rita, good evening. Thank you for joining us. You need to wear a tinfoil hat. That's interesting, Marie, because I don't know, now that they're pulling out the shunt, I may not be subject to amnesia anymore, and I might not need this cool little bracelet with my name and the warning about giving me morphine unless you absolutely have to, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe I won't have to wear a tinfoil hat, and maybe I'll be finally done with this bracelet as well. So that's the big news. That's what I wanted to share with everyone. I'm going to learn how to do this right. I'm going to try to get better at it every day. And this will be, I'm going to say, I was talking to Henry about it. I was talking to, as I said, my therapy. I was talking to Lee about it and some of the television commercials, some of the radio spots, some of the other things I've done. I'm going to continue for a small handful of clients. But other than that, we're going to put it all into the radio show. Hold on, let me take a quick call. Good evening. Thank you for calling All Natural Big. Who's this?
Good evening, brother. How are you? Congratulations. I think this is phenomenal.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, Transitional Radio, I should say, congratulations to you. It's growing. It's now got a sneak speak with Matt Connerton on Sundays. Lee's going to be coming on now with Copy That Speaks. Of course, you have Thinking Re-envisioned at the bottom of every 8 o'clock hour, or at least Sunday through Thursdays. At the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, of course, All Natural Being plays its little role in it. So Transitional Radio, IPMNation.com/TR now. It's growing leaps and bounds. I would imagine you're very proud.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, and I can't thank you enough, Brian. I mean, it's all you, man. It's all you. I think it's phenomenal.
Well, I would say this. Thank you so much for the compliment. But you know what it is, Henry? I think I'm really blessed. I'm really fortunate. I'm really lucky to have met people that are really good at what they do. And all I do is say, would you ever think about talking about that in front of a microphone? Right? When you look at well, Matt Connerton already knows it. David Ray Bowman already knows it. Most certainly Lee knows it. So all I've really done is just say, look, you have such a powerful message. You have such a great energy. We just need to find a way of getting it out to larger and larger audiences. So I'll take credit for sticking a tin can with a piece of rope to another tin can up to your voice and saying, hey, tell me what you think. But that's about it. It's all you guys. It's your passion. It's your brilliance. And so I'm just thrilled to be able to get your messages out to ever-increasing audiences. So it's a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait to be able to come back and do this full-time once again. But enough about me. Henry, what's your show going to be tonight? Because I'm going to start getting eyes from Wayne any minute here now. What are you talking about tonight on Thinking Re-Envisioned here on IPMNation.com/TR now?
We're going to bring up this whole Canadian oil production reduction. There's so much to talk about it, especially with all of the things that have led up to this. You had the United States and the OPEC making deals to go ahead and not reduce production because the economies weren't quite stable enough, and so they kept the price down. Then they just had the G20. Nothing gets mentioned, and all of a sudden Canada now just cuts production by 325,000 barrels a day. And now the price has gone right back up, so it's just interesting how what tie it into yesterday's discussion about how much we're really represented when the 1/4 of the top 1% are the ones that are supporting all of the elections. And so that's what we're going to try to go, is just continue going along with that flow.
And you know what, Henry? I think today it just was like a cold smack in the face when I go out and about and I'm running around, of course. I stop for a cookie, right? Because all month long at Panera Bread, I get a free one. So I stopped, right? And then I started running my errands. I'm doing everything else I'm doing. And then 45 cents in 2 hours. The price of gas jumps 45 cents. And I'm like, what could have been the major happening? What could have been the major going on? And I think you just clued me in on it. They played rock, scissors, paper. And somebody lost, and the rest of us are getting stuck with a 45 cent increase in gas in 2 hours. Rock, scissors, paper, and we're the ones that get cut.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
I love how they said how the consumer will benefit by this. Yeah. I had to laugh at that one, but that's
Well, it's benefiting me. I'm spending less time in rush hour traffic. I just, because I can remember back when when I was driving the truck, the diesel, I was driving RV, diesel was $4 or $5 a gallon. So I just got to a national park and I stayed there for a month. You know what I mean? Had the time of my life. But it's just weird because it's just a matter of principle, it seems. Like, I know this sounds silly, but for 5 gallons of gas, I'll go across the street to a place that's $2 before I'll hit the place that's $2.05. And you go, Brian, for 5 gallons, it's 25 cents. It's just the principle. Right? It's just, it's just the principle. And as Joseph says, never lowers that quick. Right? Even if Alberta,
1 penny at a time.
1 penny at a time. Right? Never going to lower that quick if Alberta goes, oh, you know what? Just like that, the nuclear warning in Hawaii that one time. Oh, it was just a test. We didn't mean it. Yeah, but they're going to be busy keeping that. You know what I mean? Keeping the profit all this time. You're not going to see the decrease come 45 cents in 2 hours. Joseph, I think you're absolutely right. Karen, that's the truth. Thank you for joining us, Karen. Let me also say quickly to Marcia. Marcia, she says, I'm late too. No apologies at all. Candace, you should know, Lee and Henry and I are talking about going on a cruise ship, having all of our friends together. We'll cruise someplace cool. So she's right to think we all need to go on a cruise ship. That would be a blast. We're already on top of that, Candace. All right, Henry, I know you got to go because I've only got 1 minute and 58 seconds now before Wayne's cut me off. So have an absolutely great show. Congratulations again on everything and TR now growing the way it is. And just congratulations again. Have an absolutely great show.
Well, it's great having you part of the family. Welcome to the family, Lee. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. All right, everyone. So don't forget, bottom of this, like a minute and a half away, Thinking Re-Envisioned with the incomparable Henry G. Noel. There's the eyes, LOL. That's right. Wayne knows. So here's the thing, Kathy. You know what I like doing now? Long about this time, Wayne's saying, okay, he's got a minute and 15 left. He's watching. He can tell my eyes are looking at the monitor. At a minute 11, 10, 9. So when will I actually zip it and toss it so that Wayne can, because there's like some things Wayne's got to be able to do to turn us around. So if I cut it right at 0, that's not good enough. So here's what I think we'll do tonight. Thank you all so much for listening. For those of you joining us for the first time, thank you so very much. Wayne will go ahead, if he hasn't already, and post here in the thread how to get over to Thinking Re-envisioned. And I'll go ahead and get out of here so that Wayne can activate the hamster wheels and we'll get everything going. Thank you so very much for being a part of, as I said earlier, thank you for being so much a part of my big announcement. And we're going to go ahead and kick it over here so that Wayne can get ready for Thinking Re-envisioned. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for Lee Words Wednesdays. A lot of cool things planned going on. Thank you so very much. Have an absolute fantastic evening.